This is absolutely Essendon. It's Smokin Joe's Multi-Mania, but it's also a preview of the round 20 game, Bombers versus the Swans. Stakes couldn't be higher. So we're going to cover that game first, the ins, the outs. We will get to the multi shortly. But before we do that, that last little episode got some comments, didn't it?
Well, yeah,
some very good comments.
Where to from here episode, which came out last Wednesday.
That's right.
We got some fantastic comments.
Yeah.
I think
really
over 100, including the responses from our social media team.
Yes.
But yeah, generally some really interesting insights from our community.
Yeah.
Because some of those comments were like War and Peace.
Yes.
There was a lot of detail in them, and we really appreciate that.
We do. It's great to have just good, robust diversity of opinion.
Yeah. And that's why we kind of set this channel up, wasn't it? Because we wanted to have just like a room full of Bomber fans engaging with each other, arguing with each other, but all in good spirit.
Yes, indeed. And
but some of those comments weren't necessarily in good spirit, I noticed.
No, they weren't. Now, and on that point, we got called sooks a few times, maybe, and I'm okay with being a sook.
No, you're not.
Although someone suggested that we were worse than Carlton supporters, and that is fucking that's out of line.
Who?
That's out of line.
Name and shame.
When we work out how to block people,
wow,
look out.
Seriously, go away.
But on that point of being, I just want to clarify that that episode was not about spitting the dummy after two lackluster performances.
Of course not.
It wasn't about that. And interestingly, this week
it was out of 4 out of 5 bad performances.
Well, yeah, no, but even more than that, you talk about why we set up this channel. I mean, a big part of it is because after 22 years, we got sick of talking to each other and ranting to each other, and we wanted somewhere to vent publicly. And I mean, in the last 22 years, if you don't mind, Collingwood has had its ups and downs, and it's picked up a premiership on the way up, and then gone down, rebuilt, back up again, and in that time, we've kind of just gone flatline.
Well, I think if you look at that cycle, Collingwood were playing grand finals in 2003, 2002 as well, I think. Then 2010, around that 2011 era, when they beat St Kilda.
Yep.
And then back in 2018, I know they lost to the West Coast Eagles that year, but
that's right.
They've had 3 separate peaks.
That's right.
During the time where we've just been.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. And so when it looks like that another year is going to end meekly, then yes, we got wound up. And also, you may note that AFL 360 did a big piece this week, as it happens, on saying, is this a failure year for the Dons? And I think there was a big Herald Sun article as well. John Ralph wrote and said, where do the Dons go from here? What should they do with the rest of the season?
They're all looking at our videos. That's the thing.
Look, I don't know if that's the case.
No, it is the case.
Possibly not, but just to the people that, called us sooks, I mean, yes, we don't want to spit the dummy for no reason, but look, I think we were justified, is my point.
No, absolutely. I'm just thinking, not to labour the point because we've got to move on, but I think that was all positive discussion, and I felt that from the feedback in the comments that there was a lot of dialogue around what's happening with the site. Having said that, we are nothing but positive about the direction the club's moving in.
Yeah.
There's obviously some holes still to be filled.
Yeah.
And I think once that's addressed, we can look forward to some pretty good times.
I think that's the point.
Yeah.
Like we do see the direction that it's going in. We're not treading water like we were under the Worstfold regime and the Rutten regime. We do see that.
Ruttless.
But does that mean that necessarily everything else is now happening perfectly? No, we don't think so. And you're going to hear from us.
Anyway, I mean, look, that's done. We're going to do a lot more controversial videos than that, I hope, because if that sort of video got everyone wound up, wait till the good stuff comes out.
That's right.
This week we're going to do more of a format where we combine the match preview with the multi.
Yes.
We used to put the match previews out on Wednesday, and to be honest with you, we didn't really know team selections. And,
it made it a bit tricky.
It did. So I think doing this format is better, and I know a lot of other channels like to get their previews out a week or so before the game. We're getting it out a day before the game, so this would be the latest news as it comes to hand, that will have some bearing on the game on the weekend. So without further ado,
we face the Swans. It's Marvel. It's Saturday night. It's blockbuster 11th versus 12th.
Whoa.
Both still trying to stay in contention. I dare say we need to win this. The bookies, though, ever since they set the markets, the money has only come for the Swans, not for the Dons. Oh, and so, in fact, they're even a stronger favourite than the Bulldogs were last week.
Incredible.
And what's concerning is that and I don't not being negative, but that the bookies have been on the money the last few weeks when they've gone against the Dons.
Well, so, I was questioning their sanity a couple of weeks ago, but they proved to be quite right with their predictions. We've lost when they've said we're going to lose, and apparently they're saying it again this week. So we need to tread warily. But
we do. But the last few games between the Dons and the Swans, they have been fairly close, within 10 points, I think, on 4 or 5 occasions.
Look, honestly, I can't remember the last time we played them at Marvel. I know we played them at the MCG last year, which was a rarity.
Yeah.
But, definitely coming down here, they're a little less of a threat than perhaps they would be if we were playing them in Sydney.
Yeah.
So, I would expect a much better performance this week. I'm not going to go out on a limb yet to say what my tip is, but I'm certainly thinking we're going to have to perform, because it's really now or never if the finals are, in fact, going to happen for us in 2023.
Yeah.
Lose this one, and you'd pretty much say, whilst mathematically still possible, it's going to be extremely difficult. We'd have to win 4 of the last 4 if we lose against Sydney.
By a considerable margin.
Yeah, and correct. So the percentage is another issue for us.
Yeah, it's a massive issue.
Yeah.
It's worth a game, an extra game. Unfortunately. Yeah. So yes, so it's the Swans. So why don't we talk about the selections, because there's been a bit of buzz on the Bomber forums over the last 24 hours.
Absolutely,
the ins, just the one, Menzies.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is certainly an interesting approach from the coaching or the selection committee at Essendon, where you have 2 key players going out with an injury, and Stringer and Ridley. And the only in's Menzies. There's no like for like coming in there. I'm happy Menzies back in. I think he's a good in. But, come on. Are we serious? What's going on? Why on earth are we not bringing in a Baldwin for a Ridley, or a Voss for Stringer? Yeah, clearly these guys are just no longer needed, and they might as well be packing their bags, because if they can't get selected for this match, I don't think they ever will. And that's really disappointing. I like Brad Scott. He's all about, I love to develop young players. But when's it going to start happening, Brad? We have used the 3rd least amount of players in the 2023 season.
Oh, really?
For any club.
That's a good stat.
It's interesting.
That would suggest we're winning a lot more than we are.
Well, it does. You generally have that consistency of selection when you're on a roll, you're winning, you don't need to change the side up. Yeah. You're not having injuries, which, of course, we've had quite a few of. So to have had the 3rd fewest number of players going through that team in a season is pretty alarming, and that doesn't say to me that we're all about developing younger players. That just isn't happening.
Does that fly in the face of his systems over personnel credo?
Well, but then my argument would be, if the system is rock solid, then we should be bringing players into the side to replace the Ridley. So Baldwin can move into the system and play the role that Ridley plays, or one of those defenders. Yeah. Likewise, Voss can come in. I know Voss and Stringer are not exactly like for like, but they're both sort of solid, stronger, half-forward type players. But no, they're not even getting a look in. I think maybe Voss is an emergency. Look, there could be some late changes too. Sardis is listed as an emergency. A lot of talk that he might come.
Could he be just playing games?
Who knows? I mean, I've said that for a few weeks now, where, maybe there'll be a late change, and there never has been. I think Brad Scott is just a very pragmatic kind of coach, where he's not going to make big changes. He's not going to swing the axe. And he's going to stick with the players that he trusts. And whether that's good enough to get us to the finals, we'll see. But I'm very disappointed that with a few games to go this year, we haven't yet tried a couple of different combinations of players.
I would agree with that. So coming into this game, then the Swans, they have no ins, and their out is Ryan Clark, whoever that is.
Yeah, he's a good player. I don't know, but I'm sure he's a good player. He plays AFL.
So they're firm favourites. Now,
they are.
Talking about the Swans players, that there's one in particular that loves seeing the red sash, and that's Buddy Franklin.
Yeah.
How many times has he crucified us? And even though he might be in the twilight of his career, even though he might be the star may be fading slightly, we just know that one look at our shirt and he'll grow a leg, as they say.
Well, he's the best forward on the ground in this game. I mean, he may be 35 or whatever he is, but he's still a pretty dangerous player. And,
and then you've got Papley, who loves to play angry.
Yeah.
Hey?
So, we can't take the Swans, for granted. They were a grand finalist last year. They've had a disappointing season, but they seem to be coming good at the moment.
They're just always competitive.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing you'll get from a Sydney side is they're going to put in a shift. Yeah. And, I don't think we can take them lightly.
They got up against the Bulldogs when they probably shouldn't have.
They beat Fremantle in Perth.
Yes.
So they're finding some form.
Longmire against Longmuir.
Yep. Was that what it was?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
It's like Ratton versus Rutten.
Yeah.
Gee, we need to get a bit of variety in these names,
surely.
can't we?
Anyway.
Longmuir and Longmuir. Yeah, because you're actually right. I never thought of that.
That's what I bring.
I'm never going to get that out of my head now. It's like an annoying song that you just can't get out of your head.
Right. So, in terms of the game, their midfield probably not as ominous.
Look,
as the Dogs, would you say?
No,
and I'm scared even saying that.
No,
I don't want to tempt fate.
No, you're right. They're not as big as some of those Western Bulldogs midfielders. They're pretty much more mid to smaller size midfield. So that suits us.
Yeah.
And there's some really good matchups in terms of the players going head to head in the midfield. So I think we've got Perkins has been listed in the centre, the old centre, but essentially in the middle, and I'd like to see Perkins playing a game on the ball if possible. Let him run now. Let him have his chance. He had a very bad game last week.
Yeah.
So getting him in and amongst the action, I think, is a good move. And of course, Merritt and Parrish will be the sort of the headliners in the midfield for us.
Yes.
But then interestingly though, you've got out on the wing, you've got Goulden playing on Martin. I mean, there's two potential All-Australians there.
Yeah.
I think Goulden's a shoo-in for an All-Australian this year. So there's going to be some great matchups around the ground. And I think we do come up pretty well against Sydney. I do.
Okay.
I mean, defensively, they're reasonably strong. They've got a good forward line.
Yeah.
And, this should be a cracker of a game. That's my feeling. And I think we're in it, that's for sure. But I'm not giving you my tip quite yet.
No, you don't need to. Hold off on that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than what the bookies have it. So, in putting our 5-leg multi together, last week we got 3 again. Out of the 5, we really need to get.
So we've had
all
5 multis. Is it 5 that we've done so far?
Yeah, I think so.
So our outlay has been $50. We're doing 10 each week. I think.
Yes.
Matchsticks, I should say.
Yes.
And we had the one big win.
Yes.
So that paid us $100.
Yes, based on those stakes.
So we're $50 up. Right?
Yes, we are. But still, the audience is fickle, mate.
Little walking around money.
They're not going to put up with dry runs.
Well, they
like
might be
that.
betting 100, 1,000. I don't know.
I'm going to bank builder today.
Okay.
Now, whenever you hear a punter say a bank builder, run. Don't walk, run.
Okay, I think they've already run, don't worry.
Run away. But I'm going just a little bit more conservative.
I think we had Essendon to beat Geelong, didn't we, in a head-to-head?
Oh, yeah, but I threw that in as like the wild card, and that
wasn't that a bank builder?
Sheer stupidity. No, I never used the term bank builder on that one. Okay.
So what do you got?
Okay, so let's go. First one, I think it's going to be a week for Merritt to score 30-plus disposals.
Merritt?
Is that lunacy?
No, of course not. I mean, I think Merritt's probably averaging around 28 to 30 possessions this year.
I feel like against the Swans, he's going to have a busy night.
Well, I hope so, because he and his buddy Parrish were a little bit flat last week. I think they still get a fair bit of the ball even when they're having a bad game.
Yeah. So on that note, I've got Parrish at just 25 plus.
So he's in the mix as well.
Yes. So I've got both of them.
So you're really adventurous with your go to the bank. What do you call this? Bank the bet?
No, the bank builder. No, bank builder is generally conservative.
Oh, I thought that was your bit risk and reward.
No. It's just regrouping.
I know nothing about
regrouping.
This.
No, it shows
the dark arts.
It shows.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, in terms of players getting 20 plus disposals, we've last week just missed with Nick Martin. I'm thinking we go the older players in this rather than the younger players. Is that what do you think of that theory that I may have heard from you?
Right. So I think that was when I said, the younger boys are sort of starting to lose a little steam as the season has ground on.
That may not be the case. That's only a theory, but
well, you know about theories. We're big on theories.
We are. We love
not
theories.
Big on fact, but no, I think there's some validity.
So I'm thinking Heppel and Redmond again for 20 plus disposals, as opposed to Hobbs, Martin.
Be careful with Redmond.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what happens? You sign the contract.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He's in holiday mode.
Right.
He's in holiday mode.
Right.
He'll come out with one of those, cocktails with the umbrella in it and a bit of sun cream.
Stogie cigar. Yeah. Just
last time we had a big contract renewal was when Stringer signed on the back of his best ever season.
Oh God,
hasn't had a touch since.
That is such a good point.
Yeah, so
who else could I go instead of him? McGrath. Oh, that is just such a good point. I'm
he
going
could just
pumped
come out
up.
to say, hey,
pumped up. I'm worth
it.
He's professional. They say he's very professional on the track.
He is.
He's I'm going with that. So
do you know it was his lovely partner Emma that convinced him to stay in Melbourne? She's an Adelaide girl, South Australian girl.
Is that because she's secretly in love with Simon Madden?
No, well certainly Redmond's not, because they asked him the question, was it the presentation from the club?
And what did he say?
Including club legend Simon Madden that convinced you to stay, and he went, no, not really. It was his missus. So thank you, Emma.
Okay.
You should get a job in our recruiting department. You couldn't do much worse than the one we've already got.
Oh.
Okay, all right. So we're going to go with Redmond?
Yes. No, we're going Redmond and Heppel.
For
both
20
of
plus.
Those. 20 plus disposals. Yeah, don't have to print. I've got it written down here. And then I'm going to go 15 plus disposals, Caldwell, at $1.25. Yeah. Now, I'm not going any goal kickers, because with the Dons, we don't know. I tried to suggest Langford. You said he might be down the back, given the Ridley's out.
Possibly.
So we don't know how they're going to cover that situation. Peter Wright, you might want to add him in. Like, if Peter Wright has a big night, well, what could he do?
Anything.
Against the Swans' defence?
Yeah.
Who have they got? Who would it be on him? Would it be that... what's the name of that? Blakey. Would he be on Peter Wright? No
possibly.
idea.
Yeah, possibly. Okay. I think more likely McCartan would take Wright. He's certainly the bigger defender.
Yeah.
But look, Peter Wright's been pretty good in the last 2 weeks. He's managed to 3 goals, I think, in these last 2 games.
No, 2 out of the last 3.
2 out of the last 3, right.
Yeah.
So, I think, again, playing under the roof, he's always good for a few. I think he'd be good for at least a couple.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you might want to throw that into the mix. If you just don't want to go with the bank builder, you'll get some extra value there. It'll probably come out to 8.
So you're going 1 goal, right?
So, none.
None for
I'm
Peter
staying
Wright.
right away. I'm just going those 5 disposal selections for a return of $5.
Oh, so no goal kickers this week?
Nah.
Does that mean we're not going to kick any goals?
Well, you know what? You know what will happen this week?
Yeah, we'll go 20 goals.
20 goals. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly. Man, do you know what? If my multi helps lure out a 20-goal game, then so be it.
Yeah, I don't think it will, but we'll see.
Come on, mate.
So
come on.
Just to summarise.
We don't. Just put it up on the screen.
All right, but just for my own benefit, if you could just recap.
Merritt, 30 plus.
Yep.
Parish, 25 plus.
Yep.
Heppel and Redmond, 20 possessions each, and Caldwell, 15 possessions.
I like the sound of it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I like the sound of that, and I'm actually thinking that's going to be a good one this week.
Yeah,
because we're due. Let's be honest.
Well, I'm just thinking it's going to be an intense game. I just see the boys.
They're still in a chance to make the finals, aren't they? The Swans.
The Swans, they are.
So they've got a reason to come out firing.
They definitely have a reason.
Might want to rethink that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or you could just go Buddy, 5 goals, and leave it at that.
Gee, I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, well, I really
having
hope
said
not.
that,
mate, the Zerk, go the Zerk.
Kale Hooker still can't sleep at night thinking
Yes.
about Buddy Franklin.
Yes.
But it's going to be a great game. I'm really hopeful that
It
the
is.
Bombers will get up. So let's talk about your tips for this game.
Right. It is
Your tip.
purely, this is my heart over my head, the Dons by 4 points. What are you writing that down for?
I'm just writing down that Dons by
What
4
are you?
points.
Fucking, it is
I'm
being recorded.
considering it. Yeah,
Okay,
no, of
all
course.
right. Okay.
So I can watch it back later.
You're like a newsreader, just fucking always. What the hell are they writing?
Tom Brokaw.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to agree that we will win this game because I'm too scared to say we're going to lose it because of
Yes.
the
Backlash.
anger, the mob anger.
They will come for us.
You guys.
Huh?
I think the Bombers will win this game, and I think the Bombers will win this game handsomely.
Oh, really?
And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's going to be the Bombers by 35 points.
Oh,
How does that
you
sound
know,
to you?
I'd
All right.
love a cruisy win.
So I'm
I'd
gonna- can I
love
just
a
write that down so I don't forget what I
cruisy
said?
win.
Bombers
And-
by 35.
Yes.
And you've gone them by 4.
By 4.
Right. Bombers by
I'm
35.
hoping it's yours because I'm at a birthday party on Saturday night and I'm going to be like, pretending to be having a good time and, with the phone in one hand.
Yeah.
And because you don't want to be the rude prick who's just more obsessed with the football.
So what do you
But-
say when people... Is everything all right, mate?
Yeah, no, mate, it's the babysitter. There's a problem with
right.
the little man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
I
run
can
with
see,
that.
yeah.
I don't
That
care. I'll
should-
use whatever.
Yeah, that's
Mate,
touch your balls when you say things like that.
I know. But I got to
All right, look, I think we're done with that. aren't we?
All right. I think we are done. That's our preview. That's our multi.
It wasn't a really analytical preview. I think we need to think about
Yeah, but when
that.
we go too analytical, it's just too much footy classified. And when we muck around too much, you
Was this a gag-free episode?
It
certainly felt like it.
We're stringing together quite a few of them.
Wow. What happened?
Well, we got the most engagement out of
By
our
not
gag-free
cracking a
episode.
single
Yeah,
joke.
exactly. No one wants material.
All right, we'll wait for the Around the Grounds episode.
Okay.
Now, there's
Yes.
a caveat in that.
Right.
It should come out.
Yes.
It may not, because YouTube are onto us for something. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Well,
They're
well,
copyright striking us.
But what? Did they take it down? What
No,
happened?
they didn't take it down, but
What did they have a
they
go?
warned us.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it was
Be
scary.
careful.
Scary. They knock on the door
They
and
are,
they're
mate, they
kicking
are.
it in and going,
Mate,
copyright strike.
they are the
I have
only-
no idea what copyright we infringed upon,
Right.
but apparently we did. So
Okay.
maybe that's
All
just copyright on good times.
So maybe that will come out as the next episode.
So
or
look
maybe it
forward to
won't.
that one,
But
and,
whatever happens, please let's have a big Saturday
Yeah.
night.
All right. Well, on that note,
As always, thank you so much for watching and for making it this far.
yeah, thanks so much, everybody, and we look forward to a successful weekend of playing with matchsticks. I'm not going to say putting the savings on the line, but
Yeah,
you know,
you're really
whatever-
worried. You're really worried
Well,
about
you've
the
gotta-
welfare of our
you've
viewers.
gotta-
Going all chips in.
Well, no,
with,
I'm just
with our
basing it
multi.
on the legal advice that we received after the last 2 lawsuits. That we need to be very clear that you have to gamble.
Where's our legal team?
responsibly.
Down the,
They're with Simon at the moment.
Right. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Thanks again for watching.
See you soon.
We're out.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye.